Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The first ever draft for Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn is in the books, so let's grade each pick and grade the Jets draft class. Jets insider Nick Faria joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
Each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on the day after the first ever draft class for Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. It is the Jake Asman Show. Click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. An announcement I want to share. The next Asmaniac meetup will be at Yankee Stadium in late June. If you want information on the Asmaniac Yankee game outing, you have to be a Patreon member. I will be posting the details of the plan in the coming days. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Take the plunge. Get in on the Discord. And you'll see when I announce all the info if you want to join us at Yankee Stadium for the next Asmaniac group outing. Let's say hello right now to a good friend of the show. He covered the Jets draft from the Jet facility all weekend long. Jets reporter Nick Faria joins us right now. Nick, happy Sunday. And, man, what a weekend it was for football fans. You were at the Jet facility all weekend long. How we feeling, man?
I'm tired, recovering, to put it best. A couple of late nights. But a lot of fun. I mean, this is some of the best stuff of the off season. Absolutely love the draft weekend. I'm very privileged to have been covering it for now 2-3 years.
No doubt. So we got a lot to talk about. But first, my goodness, Rick Kent, are you kidding me? Right at the start of the show, and I should remind everyone, today is the last day to be entered in the Asmaniac raffle. We're going to do it on the show tomorrow. We got a ton of prizes we're giving away. It's a mega raffle in honor of draft weekend. Joe Namath jersey, Justin Fields helmet, Aaron Glenn helmet, Curtis Martin signed helmet, DeBrickashaw helmet, Jermaine Johnson jersey, Aaron Glenn photo, our top 7 prizes. And Rick Kent is making me put the helmet on immediately. 20 memberships. Rick, you are the man, baby. Hit the fireman Ed.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
Rules are rules. 20 memberships gifted by Rick Kent. If you hear your name called, you thank Rick. Bobby Beasley, Junior Star, Jeff Ryanbacher, Toxic Reacts, Janoris Pena, Cosmo87, Jonathan Seeley, Frank Constantino, Lo Femte, Nick Russo, Howie from Jet HQ, John Steppak, Tonkin Cam Films, Aaron Glenn Knows All, Alan has gonorrhea, Shane Tuttle, Dave from New Brunswick, Mike Ferraro, Iowa Jets fan, all receiving channel memberships from Rick Kent. Last day to enter the Asmaniac raffle if you want in on our raffle tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you very much to Rick Kent. And now let me break down the state of the Jets and the Jets draft class with Nick Faria himself. So if you're going to assign a grade, Nick, give us a grade for this draft overall, and then we'll go through each specific prospect that the Jets took. Give us a grade. How would you evaluate and assess this 2025 New York Jets draft class?
Yeah, so the entire class I have graded as an A-.
Wow.
I thought this was a very, very strong first draft. Now, first, we have to take into account the starters, the players we know are going to be expected to start right away. And those were within the first 2 picks. You know, Armand Membu, Mason Taylor, these guys are going to play right away for the Jets next season. And they were picks of needed value for the team. Membu, really solid player. Mason Taylor, really solid tight end. Both guys should be able to play right away. And I know Mel Kiper in his grade said at the beginning, the first 2 days, the Jets were on pace to an A draft. And sort of the sales kind of kept, sort of hurt themselves a little bit on day 3. And most people, when they talk about that, they talk about Arian Smith. But the way that I look at it, quite frankly, if we're holding so much stock in a 4th-round pick, ruining a draft class, then we're not really talking legitimate football. We're talking completely reactionary. Smith is probably the weakest of the picks. He's got some concern. He's got legitimate concerns in terms of drops. He's not that big. He's not that strong. He is very fast. But to say that this draft was awful because they drafted a receiver in the 4th round that could have probably gone in the 5th, that's utterly ridiculous. I think that's people just being overly critical and looking for things to be complaining about. I love the safety pick Malachi. I thought he was very solid. The linebacker and edge rusher added depth to positions of need. I really do believe that this was a very strong draft class for the Jets. I think they came into the draft, I would say, with about 6 needs. They solved 5 of them. There's still a need at defensive tackle. Absolutely. No one's denying that. And, maybe Deion Walker, had he fallen to the Jets in the 4th round, maybe he would have been the pick. But to sit there and say that this draft class was destroyed because Arian Smith was the pick, I think is just gross overreaction from the fan base. Take a breather. I look at it as the Jets needed a wide receiver. They wanted some speed. And if he can sort of help on special teams, then that's just an added bonus. But the team seems very confident in him. They absolutely nailed the first 3 picks. Even Azrae Thomas. Like, we talk about the cornerback and, they didn't really need a cornerback. But Thomas is the perfect fit for what Aaron Glenn wants in his secondary. And I thought he was great value. This is a guy that people were mocking in the 1st round, and he fell to the Jets in the 3rd. That is tremendous value for the team. So to sit here and say that they had a bad draft or it was underwhelming because they didn't solve the tackle position but solved every other position, I think is just a gross overreaction by some fans.
I am shocked that you're as high on the class as you are. With that said, to me, when you get to day 3, if that's what we're angered the most about, I'm just not gonna have that energy for it. Like
But I think that's the argument here. Everyone's so upset about the receiver pick. Everyone's so upset they didn't take a tackle. But when we talk about Azrae Thomas, he was the best player available in the 3rd round. Or we can say maybe they should have taken a tackle in the 3rd round, but if you have the best player available as a corner, then you take him. I mean, he's a great fit for what the Jets need and want as well. So the way that I look at it is they solved every other need except defensive tackle. Take a breather and recognize that. Like, they drafted a receiver. They drafted a tight end. They drafted a tackle. They drafted an edge rusher. And they brought in some really good quality undrafted free agents as well. They've had a lot of success of that as a franchise. There's reason to suspect at least one could be a potential starter moving forward. I liked almost every single pick the Jets made on draft throughout the entire draft weekend. It's just a matter of if one pick in the 4th round is going to ruin it for you, then you're not really talking about football. You just want to be angry for no other reason.
So that's fair. I would give it closer to like a B or a B minus because I don't like how deep this defensive tackle draft class was and not taking a swing on any of them. I understand to your point that they, to me, did really well the first 2 days of this draft. The Membu pick was smart. It was safe. It was the right move. Follow that up with going out there and adding a legit weapon, tight end, a guy that could help you in Mason Taylor. And I understand the Thomas pick. So I really liked what they did overall through the first 2 days of this draft. But when you have the depth that this draft class had at defensive tackle and you don't add a single one, I just don't think that's playing the value of the draft the right way. You didn't play the board the right way. And I'm not saying some of these day 3 picks don't have a chance to work out. I really like the Malachi Moore selection. I think if we're talking about who has the chance to actually start on this team as a rookie
away,
I would talk about Membu and Taylor, instant starters, and Moore has a chance, I think, to win a starting safety job. So I don't dislike that pick. I just don't think we could justify a draft where they had a glaring need at DT next to Quinnen Williams, and they didn't take their swing on any of these guys.
Well, the other piece of that, we asked Darren Muji about that in the press conference yesterday, and he acknowledged, listen, we're not done building the team. So just because they didn't draft one this year doesn't mean that they're going to just sit by and work with Nadi and all these other guys that they brought in free agency. But he did mention that, yes, some of those tackles were high on their boards that were taken by the time the Jets picked, and others that were available had some concerns. There were some injury issues. There were other things they saw on tape that they didn't like. And again, we can debate whether they are right or wrong. It is way too early to tell if they are right or wrong in this situation. We're grading a draft class as a way too early kind of prognostication. The way that I see it, you can't grade a draft class until after the third year. And that's always really been the case. To sit there and say that this is a failed draft by Darren Muji in the first time, we have no idea how these players are going to work. Arian Smith could be the next Deshaun Jackson, for all we know. He's got the speed. Deshaun had drops in college. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be, but we have no idea what's going to happen moving forward. So it's in terms of a way too early situation, I look at it as, okay, you had 6 needs going into the draft. You needed a tackle, a tight end, a wide receiver, a defensive tackle, an edge rusher, and a safety. Well, you got the safety, the tackle, the receiver, the edge rusher, and the tight end. Now all you need to focus on is defensive tackle and finding that value, not just in the undrafted free agent pool, but also in free agency. The fact that you were able to solve 5 of those needs, I think is something that should be celebrated. I just don't see it as a massive negative. If they saw something on their draft boards and in their pre-draft discussions that sort of pushed them away from the defensive tackle position on day 3 of all places.
Our guy Dylan Tellerman checks in. Thank you, Nick. People overreacting to a couple day 3 reaches. The New York reach arounds, baby. That's what the Jets did on
and
day
again,
3.
We don't know. Like, we can say, oh, these were reaches. Arian Smith was a reach. He could have gone in the 7th round. Are we sure that was the case? Are we absolutely sure that was the case? No one knows.
No, we don't know for sure, but when I see Connor Rogers have a 7th round or 6th round grade on a guy and Dom have a 7th round grade on a guy, I'm not saying that it's the end all be all, but that does kind of, alarm me a little bit as someone who follows the draft, only this time of year, not year round like those guys do.
Well, here's the other piece to it. Shedeur Sanders had a 1st round grade by a lot of these people and fell to the 5th. And it was not just because of the distraction base. It was because NFL teams did not think he was a 1st round pick. NFL teams did not think he was a 2nd round pick. And by the time the 3rd round came, they didn't want a distraction like Sanders is to go until the 5th round. I think that's an important distinction. Reaches, settlers, great value. We think this is what's the case because we hear different people and different analysts go on and talk about it. But teams have a different perspective. Teams look at things a lot differently on their draft boards than some of these other guys. Mel Kiper, for an entire weekend, pounded the table and blamed the entire NFL for being idiots because Shedeur Sanders fell to the 5th round. Mel Kiper, as great as he is, has missed on a ton of quarterbacks in his career. No one knows for sure what these guys are going to look like. So if the Jets are higher on a player because they think he can fit a mold of the team, then they should be given the benefit of the doubt in their 1st draft. This is not like it's their 3rd or 4th. This is the 1st draft of these guys. They want to build their roster their way. To sit there and say that, I heard some people say that Muji should be fired and these guys are all terrible. We are way too early in that process to even start thinking that they failed this draft. Way too early. They haven't even hit the practice field yet in order to make that assessment.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Today is the last day you have a chance to be eligible for one of the biggest raffles in the history of the Jake Asman Show. 7 prizes on the line. Signed Aaron Glenn photo. Signed Jermaine Johnson jersey. Signed DeBrickashaw Ferguson helmet. Signed Curtis Martin helmet. Signed Aaron Glenn helmet. Signed Justin Fields helmet. Signed Joe Namath jersey. It is all on the line. Gift to be eligible. Super chat to be involved. Friday Jones is in the Asmaniac raffle. 4, 5.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Friday Jones has gifted a membership to Long John Silver, Tyler Terraman, Eric Bonilla, Bob P., Christian A., and Nick Faria knows all receiving a channel membership. Fire Aaron Glenn says, Aaron Glenn deserves an F.
You get the fuck out.
Fire Aaron Glenn, not pleased with the draft, Nick.
This is my point. If we're going to sit here and say that day 3 picks are going to destroy the Jets draft and make it a C or a B, even a B in my opinion, I think it's ludicrous, because what are we talking about here? They have 2 or 3 starters that they have drafted right off the bat. That's all you can ask for. If a draft class comes out and there are 2 to 3 starters in each draft class, you are going to be set moving forward. That's a good draft class. We're overreacting way too much about day 3 picks for players that fit a need and have solid value in a certain way.
Dre checks in. He's been an Asmaniac channel member for 20 months. Shout out to you, Dre. Good to see you at the draft party on Thursday. Nick Faria and Jake Asman, what a pair. When is the Mets meetup? Yankees first, Dre, and then to be determined. But if you want in on the Yankee game meetup in late June, join the Patreon, get in on the Discord, and I'll have the information later this week. But I want to start teasing that because everyone's saying, when's the next event? And that it will be the next event. It will be Sunday, June 29th. Yankees A's 1:35 first pitch. So please keep that date open if you want to join us in the Bronx for an Asmaniac Yankee game meetup. Bo C checks in. What's up, Bo? Holding faith in the staff right now that they put the team together with a solid plan of being competitive at the highest level. DT is required in this equation. Now, they did sign a UDFA, a defensive tackle. Penn State, I believe, is the school from which the kid they signed is coming from. They signed a couple of UDFAs that intrigued me. They signed the running back Edwards from Michigan, who was a monster in the college football playoff.
Pickup.
So
I love that pickup.
they made a couple of UDFA signings. We could talk more about that in just a bit, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, it's a wait and see with any new regime, and they're just getting started here with their draft. Dana writes in, more mad about day 3 than potentially getting 3 top 40 players. This fan base, man. And that's kind of my thing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and freak out over day 3 picks. I didn't love all the picks. There were a couple I'm intrigued by, but I liked the approach to night 1 and night 2. And if they got that right, no one in the grand scheme of things will care how day 3 works itself out. I mean, there's probably an 80% chance the day 3 picks don't work out. That's just math. That's just how it goes.
Complete math. Arian Smith is probably not going to work out. Not saying that he could or may not. It's probably not going to work out. But if Mason Taylor, Armand Membu, Malachi Moore, and Azare Thomas all work out, are we seriously going to sit here and give this draft a C or a B minus because the 5th player did not turn out to be a good player?
I'm at a B minus. I think that's fair.
I think that's too little. I really do. I think that even shows you're holding too much stock in Smith and some of this other stuff in day 3. I think they really did well. They solved major needs on their offense.
But they could have added a DT at some point yesterday, no?
But is adding a DT in round 3 in the 3rd day, is that the reason why you have them lower than average to good in that?
I think they reached on Arian Smith. There were other players there if they were going to go wide receiver, which, by the way, I wanted them to do. I wanted them to take a wide receiver. And I think when you look at some of the other picks here, right, I don't mind them, taking their swing on Malachi Moore. That was their guy. They moved up. Okay, fine. But you look at how just deep it was a defensive tackle, and to just not take one of those guys, I just think you didn't play the draft to its strengths in that scenario. So I'm docking you some points for that.
But docking it all the way to having it below like a B minus is like below.
B minus is not a bad grade. There's a lot of Jet fans who think it's a C draft or C plus. I think that's extreme.
I'm not even taking.
If I changed it to a B, would you feel better about my assessment?
I think I would. I would understand more, because B minus to me, I look at it some like the scale is 0 to 100. I look at a B minus like an 81, 82. That's like below average. I think like 85, 86, 87. That's the average you want to hit.
I'd take a B.
I think that's fair. I'm not sitting here saying like I'm not going to lower it just because I really think they've come away with 4 starters here. And if you're coming away with 4 starters, that's all you can ask for in a draft class.
We did a poll yesterday, and a lot of people were harsher than me. I think I'm being fair when I say B minus, but just for you, I will up my grade to a B. All right, Nick Faria, breaking news. He has strong-armed me into increasing my grade from B minus to B.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
You win, Nick. You win. Let's see. Super chat, JYB. 2 raffle entries for JYB. We're going to count $10 super chats today for the raffle. And we might do that effective immediately because so many people say, I only watch from my phone. I can't gift. So I want to give people more chances to win prizes for supporting the show. Thank you, Nick, for a rational take on day 3 picks. We could still sign a veteran receiver that could step in and be across from Wilson. Allen Cooper is still out there. I do think they need to add a veteran receiver. Like, I am at a point where I see Tyler Lockett go for $4 million, and it annoys me the Jets didn't do that.
Look, there's going to be a lot of different options, and JYB makes the point here. I do agree with it. The offseason doesn't end just because the draft ends. I mean, June 1st is a key demarcation point in the NFL offseason because that's where a lot of players are going to get released. A lot of veteran players are going to get released. If Philadelphia lets go of Dallas Goedert, this whole conversation could change because Goddard's not going to get the kind of contract he's looking for on the open market. Some of these receivers, like you mentioned, still available.
We lose Nick.
Stuff I think needs to be taken into account.
Now we can't see you, Nick. I mean, the people upset with you have found a way to hack into your phone. Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. Can you guys still hear me?
We hear you.
All right.
Now we see you.
I'm working on the audio.
Now we see you. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb if you're on your phone. That could be the issue if you're getting texts or anything like that.
Yeah, the crazy thing is I am on Do Not Disturb. And yet people are still trying. I really feel that I've been hacked.
It's possible. Terrible. It's possible.
Terrible.
Could be Bobby Beasley. We know he's gone after Beast Breakers. I mean, everyone be on high alert. Alan checks in. Any opinion on quarterback Brady Cook? UDFA signed last night from Mizzou. I have no opinion on the guy. I think he's a camp arm.
Yeah, camp arm.
Maybe that's my opinion. He's a camp arm.
The interesting thing about this is what happens to Jordan Travis because they did not draft a quarterback, which could lead some to believe that they feel highly about the Florida State product. But when we talked to Darren Muji about it, he didn't really want to disclose anything on potentially adding another quarterback, potentially drafting one, yada, yada, yada. I got to be honest, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. If Travis comes out and plays well, he could very well earn a roster spot. But if he doesn't, I would not be surprised if they just let him walk.
Well, I think what not drafting a quarterback signifies is that when they evaluated their quarterback options and probably threw Travis his tape and compared it to these quarterbacks' tape, they felt like he was just as good, if not better, than anyone they were going to add. So their thought process is probably, look, we know the medical is on this guy. Obviously, we as Jet fans don't. But if they think he's actually going to be healthy for the first time as a professional and could play, in OTAs, mini camp, we actually could see him this summer in training camp, there's your developmental guy that would be going into year 2 as a pro. So that's probably why they didn't take one, because they view Jordan Travis as already that guy on their team. If they took someone, that would tell me either they think Travis sucks or he's not healthy and he wouldn't be on the team. Right. So the winner of yesterday's day 3 was Jordan Travis. No one won more than Jordan Travis that's involved with the Jets.
We shall see. We shall see, because if Muji came out and said, yeah, listen, we're going to see what we have in Jordan Travis, it'll be great. That's one thing. He wasn't really committal to him either. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle him. And let's also remember, I know Travis had to come out last year because he was a senior and everything was his final year. If by some way he was able to go out this year, I think he's a top 10 pick, because he was really good at Florida State before his leg injury, before that gruesome injury happened. He was going to be, at worst, a second-round pick last year in a very deep quarterback class. What would have happened if he had the opportunity to wait another year to come out this year? I think that there would have been a legitimate chance that he could have been a first-round pick, maybe even top 10.
I don't know about that. Maybe a second-round pick.
But the thing is, this quarterback class is so much weaker, is my point. So someone would try to overdraft him in that way.
I'll tell you who's really happy that Jordan Travis is still on the Jets.
I'm Ricky New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State, I really love Florida State. Jordan Travis, you know he's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Ricky is thrilled. That's your guy. That's your guy that you picked to win Asmaniac Madness, Nick Faria.
Came close. Very proud of him. Very proud of the work that he did. Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton checks in with a $20 super chat. Smith, not the only issue with day 3. Trading up and not back. At least stick was an issue too. We can't say draft O-line and develop in mid-rounds one day and say those rounds don't really matter the next. I'm pretty upbeat and don't overreact. See, this to me is my thing. Glenn saying we want to build from the inside out. That was his big thing when they took Membu inside out, build it the right way, trenches. And we don't take a defensive tackle in the most stacked defensive tackle draft ever.
Well, what tackle did you want? I think Deion
Farmer.
Walker probably.
I mean, he was an option.
Well, he was before Buffalo traded up and got him. I mean, these things happen. And we can sit there and say, well, you should have had the foresight to trade up. We have no idea how these draft boards are going to be. Things change. Certain teams may have a request from the Jets in one package compared to somebody else. The Buffalo Bills may have been able to offer more in terms of value when they traded into the 4th round because they had to trade up so deep. So they gave up extra picks, whereas the Jets wouldn't have only been able to have to give up maybe an additional pick instead. These kinds of things happen. And just because they didn't take a defensive tackle does not mean that this is going to be the worst position group on the team or that it's a massive snub. We have no idea what's going to happen with this group this year. They could very well sign an undrafted free agent. They could very well develop Leonard Taylor to a point where they're not going to have to worry about drafting a defensive tackle. This coaching staff is very new. This entire process to them is that in its infancy. We should give them the benefit of the doubt because, quite frankly, what exactly are we complaining about here? If we're complaining about not drafting a project defensive tackle, that's one thing. But they could also sign a veteran defensive tackle to make more of an impact this season than a project would have to begin with.
I am laughing at Darren Muji's explanation for not taking a DT. Well, we got guys in that room that have played a lot of football. Bro.
Veterans. Well, listen.
That doesn't mean they're good at football.
I think Nandi could be good. And again, it all depends on the scheme. It really all depends on the scheme. With Saleh in his scheme, the wide 9 is always susceptible to the running game. Always. And it always has been. And they never really changed it up. It was always the same situation on defense that got by because they had great players. At the very least, we also have to acknowledge this defense is going to look a lot different this year under Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilks. And if they're able to adapt with the players that they do have, develop the players that they have, there's a good chance they're not going to have to worry about the defensive tackle position.
I'll believe it when I see it. Alan says, actually different, wrong super chatter. Duncan says, if you get 3 guys for the 53-man and 2 to 3 practice squad guys from the draft, you did well. Did any of us really see some of these day 3 guys play? Maybe not me in particular, but the people I had on did. And they were saying there were better players out there in round 4 for the Jets to take than Arian Smith, who will fit right in with Alan Lazard, joining the depth chart of a receiver room that can't catch.
They feel they can correct it. That was their response. They feel that they can help.
Well, you know what they
him
say? You can't teach speed, which is why I'd recommend if the ability to catch doesn't matter for Aaron Glenn and company, we should sign Usain Bolt today and add some speed to the room.
Just get him on reverses the entire time. Listen, it'll be interesting to see how they deploy him because he's not. I think he's a better route runner overall than people give him credit for. The big knock on him is that he's not big and he has real problems catching the football. But I think from where he's coming out of college now to where Malachi Corley was, I think he's a better route runner. If Corley develops and Smith, they get him on the field both at the same time, who's going to be running the jet sweeps? That'll be my question. That'll be something interesting to see because you're going to want to get these guys with speed the ball. You're going to have to get creative. This is not the same Jets coaching staff last year that didn't want to use end arounds, didn't really want to get overall creative with Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback, but they're going to have to moving forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how they operate with him. He could very well be a special teams guy this year and moving forward. At the very least, I do think this coaching staff should get the benefit of the doubt. At the very least right now, it's their first draft, and we haven't seen how they are with player development. If they come out and Leonard Taylor looks great, and Arian Smith is improving in the preseason, no one's going to give a crap if he was taken in the 4th round or not.
Well, and ultimately, I'll repeat what I've said. I poke fun at some of the day 3 stuff because I didn't love every pick, but I'm not going to freak out over it because you have to hit on your first 2 nights. That's more important. Yeah, like,
And I think they did.
And that's my feeling too until, proven otherwise. I feel good about Membu. I feel good about Taylor. And ultimately, if you came away with a stud right tackle in a few years and some of the other picks don't work out, like, that's a win. Like, no one would care about the 2020 draft class. Mekhi Becton was a stud left tackle and you weren't chasing your tail trying to fix that pick the 4 years afterwards,
Look, I totally get it. And again, it's if Mason Taylor's a starting tight end and Armand Membu is really good at right tackle and Azariah Thomas ends up being a starting corner and Malachi Morse is starting safety, are we really going to sort of nitpick at the fact that the receiver of the class didn't work out? Sorry, I don't see that. I don't see that as the issue.
Some salient points are being made by many in the chat, like this one from Beastbreaker, who says, you can lead a horse to a lot of things, but you can't make the bastards drink. Nick, your thoughts?
I don't think I've got one. I don't think I've got one with this. Nope, speechless.
C checks in with a super chat, $10. C, you are the man. Thanks for the support. You're in the raffle for 2. By the way, folks, last day to get in on the raffle. Support the show and have a chance to win some epic prizes. I think we'll be fine if Arian Smith's our worst pick. I remember drafts where we were outraged on day 1 and 2, but a 4th-round pick, let's see how it plays out.
I think there's a very fair point to make where if Walker was available in the 4th round, they probably would have gone their way, and this draft instantly gets better for some fans, probably gets worse for others because we didn't address the receiver position. What the hell are we doing? But we have no idea what's going to happen. This guy could become Deshaun Jackson, like I said earlier. This guy could, be cut in training camp. We have no idea. Let's wait to make it a prognosis on how good these players are, or how good these players could be before they're even in the building.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by our friends at The Perfect Gene.
Trust me, you'll never go back to your Levi's after you try these. The Perfect Gene is known for its unique denim fabric that stretches for comfort when you're on the go.
I want to feel comfortable in my jeans. The Perfect Gene provides a size for everyone.
You can literally choose the color, style, and size. It doesn't get any easier than buying these jeans.
Do yourself a favor and stop wasting money on jeans that you'll stop wearing after one wash. Get the Perfect Gene.
Here's the deal. You're going to use promo code ASMAN15, and you're going to get 15% off your new pair of perfect jeans. theperfectgene.nyc/Asman15, or just use that code at checkout. Winter is finally over. Spring is here. It's time for you to change your wardrobe. If your jeans are stiff, uncomfortable, or past their prime, swap them out for something fresh. Enter The Perfect Gene. Stretchy, comfortable. You can wear them in any occasion. I'm telling you, folks, upgrade your jeans now. You won't regret it. The Perfect Gene. I've been rocking The Perfect Gene for over a year since they've been with us here on our channel. So like you guys support me, support them. For a limited time, Jake Asman Show listeners will get 15% off their first order plus free shipping if you buy a pair of jeans today. theperfectgene.nyc or Google The Perfect Gene and use code ASMAN15 for 15% off. That's ASMAN15 for 15% off. Let's continue the conversation right now with Nick Faria. And Nick, we're going to take some calls. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Are you fired up here on a Sunday?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, first up today is Doug in the corner of his, looks like, apartment or home. Doug, how are you?
I'm doing all right. So you made a point earlier, Nick, where grading drafts the day after is stupid. I completely agree. There's no way to everything is just based off of people's opinion right now. It's nothing to prove what they'll be in the NFL. So in doing that, I look back at the past 2 years draft. 2021, obviously you have the miss of Zach Wilson, but 2 of your best players were a 5th-round pick in that. You have Michael Carter and Jamie Sherwood, and then you had AVT. Then you look back to 2022, you have the first 4, obviously great. Then the last 3, Rucker, who we want to be great, it's not good. And then you have the worst player on the team, Michael Clemens, and a lineman who's not the best.
Hey, Doug, how's the dark? Because apparently my angle is you're just frozen. Everyone else in the chat, and I just checked what the chat's view is. It's just you as it's just a black screen right now. So we don't even know if you're actually there.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
We hear you.
We can hear you perfectly fine. And I agree with most of your takes. You know, if you're going to come away with a couple of starters, that does not make a draft class bad. Now, the problem with the 21 draft class is the fact that you drafted a quarterback second overall, and that kind of blew everything out of proportion. You can't whiff on that particular pick. But again, the Jets have not – there have been draft classes where the Jets have looked a lot worse. The 2023 draft class is a great example because everyone hated that draft. They wanted John Michael Schmitz. They wanted somebody else. But Will McDonald just recorded 10 sacks, and Joe Tippmann looks like a future Pro Bowler. And those are two starters in the first and second round. That's all you can ask for in that situation.
I can see me, so I don't get why people can't see me. But
Doug, do you want to call back in to prove you're actually there?
Yeah, I'll try again. I'll call from my phone if that works better.
You got it, Doug. Let's say hello to a guy who has been making a ton of salient points over the last couple of shows. Ladies and gentlemen, to the lair we go.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you got to come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
Good morning, Jake. How are you doing this morning?
Beast, how are you?
I've had better. Took my shower and a shave, and I'm not changing my grade. It's going to remain B- until I see fit. That's as far as it's going.
What can Nick Faria do to get you to change your grade, Beast? He bullied me into changing mine.
Nick, do I have to explain myself to you? I'm keeping it B- because number one, these are rookies that we just got. They have to earn their keep. See, rule one, if you want to come up here to New York, you're going to have to earn your keep and earn your fair share like everybody else. And I'm going to explain it by showing you something called, you want to earn this? You're going to have to work for it, like everybody does in life. It's called earn a check, pay it off, get it in the bank, and put it away for your future. You want to earn your keep up here in New York, you're going to have to bust your ass for it. That means no sitting around, no crying, no whining, no complaining. Get off your ass and do it, and earn some achievement for once in your life, because if you can't do it, get the hell out of our state. Or you know what? In the words of the great Aaron Glenn, you get the F out. Bottom line.
So, Beast, I have a question for you. Obviously, they need to prove themselves. No one's saying otherwise. But what exactly? So you're saying you gave the lower grade because they haven't proved themselves yet?
That's correct. It's called until you earn your keep. Until you earn your keep, you're gonna start at the bottom. It's called you gotta advance yourself first. See,
so why not an F?
F doesn't count. That doesn't work that way. You gotta earn your keep first. B- is fair. I'm going to keep it fair. See, I'm honest about my grade. I'm not changing it. Is that understood? Do I have to say more? Look, fella, I'm just trying to tell you, leave it alone. That's the way it's going to go. B-, nothing said. Earn your achievement. If you can't earn it, get out of here.
Why is it so dark in the attic today, Beast? You don't have lights in there?
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning. I'm getting ready to go outside and have a little fun today because it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And you know what? I'm going to take my phone with me, get my exercise. My sister wound up getting sick yesterday. She's going to be winding up going into the hospital. It's like, oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully she's okay.
It's all right. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. Hey, family first. Family comes first, then business comes second. It's called you want to earn your achievement, get off your ass and do the job. Mike, I wish you had my life, but unfortunately, you couldn't hang my world because you drop after 4th and 15. You drop just like that.
How'd you get to 4th and 15?
Do you ever watch football? Do you ever watch Bill Parcells or John Madden or Vince Lombardi? Learn from these three greats. These three are legends. Parcells is still living. Madden's gone. And Madden passed away a long time ago. And I respect John Madden. But I'm not changing my grade. I'm leaving it the way it's going to be. And until they earn their achievement, they're going to have to earn every step of it. That means
hey, Beast.
Get up. My kidney stones are fine. I just got to watch. The doctors have already told me I got to drink more water, have more juice, and lay off certain things for a good while. I'll be fine. No, I'm not. No, Bobby Bees is going to get a restraining order from me very, very soon. And don't think I won't do it. See, I got power in my purse, and I know how to use it.
You have a purse?
No, I don't. It's called, up here, common sense.
A brain purse.
Now, Nick, I'm not going to tell you again. I'm not changing my grade. It's going to stay there until
Nick,
they
he's
earn
not
their keep.
changing his grade, all right? So stop. So quit asking.
And like David Brigham once said, until you earn achievement, you're gonna earn every bit of it by coming to work, earning your respect, working with your peers, and working with your coaches. Now, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. The door swings two different ways: in, out, in, out. It's like a restaurant. See, I don't go to restaurants anymore because everything's sky high. Learn the basics first. If you don't learn your basics, then you know what? You're not qualified for a job.
Beast, when was the last time you did a little whining and dining? Like you went out to a nice place, you sat down,
It was a couple weeks ago. I went to Les Brothers for breakfast. I got myself a $16 breakfast, consisted of a steak, hash browns, scrambled egg, and rye toast. A man's breakfast.
Nice.
That's a man's breakfast.
Now, let me ask you this. Can you put some lights on and demonstrate what you showed yesterday at the end of the mega cast? I want to see. Look, the Jets need a defensive tackle. You got to show the UDFA they signed how it's done. Give us a little three-point stance, a little three-tech.
If you want to learn dime or nickel, you got to have all your basics up here. This is how your 300-pound guys are. You have to keep them here. All your corners have to be at least 210, 230. Look ready, look hungry. When you look at that quarterback dead in the eye, just tell him, come here, you son of a bitch. I got something for you. My face, my fist, right through your teeth. Now get ready. Come here, boy. Come here. I see ya. Come here. Yes, son. Don't think I got you. You're messing with the wrong dog in the yard.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gabagoo.
Wow.
Man, I'll tell you what. We've been complaining about the lack of a defensive tackle drafted. The master plan is just to sign Beast as a UDFA, let him fight for a spot on the roster.
He said he was going to punch the quarterback in the face. I think he committed 3 penalties on that sort of run right there. It's okay if you want, him or Deion Walker. Which one would you have preferred? I think a lot of people would take Beast instead.
Dana says, new theory, there's no bed frame. Has to be mattress on the floor. I've argued for a while that the maker of Beast bed, right, whatever company is the provider, I mean, God, do they deserve a lot of credit. I'd like them to sponsor the show. I'd like to endorse them because that is the strongest bed frame in America. PBM says, I think the house is made from concrete. Let's see. Derek the Cop Beast had some energy today. Beast, did your cop badge ever come in the mail, by the way? Beast said he became a police officer last week.
Congratulations, Beast. Congratulations. Let me know what district you're in. Or precinct, whatever the hell it's called.
Mike D's nuts. Oh, Beast looks hungry, all right. Yo, Holmes, Rick Kent, Jake waiting for his bounty. I am amazed that no one sent Beast to the hole the entire MegaCast weekend. That was impressive by the Asmaniacs. Let's see what we got here. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll get to more of your calls. Michael says, overall, great draft, I would say. Wanted Warren, but no denying they took the smart route, especially considering how the rest of the draft went. Well, it was interesting because on day 2, there was a thought, hey, Ozzie Trapillo at 73, if you took Warren, well, Trapillo would have been gone by 73. They would have had to trade up if that was the path they wanted to go down.
And this is why they made the pick for the tackle first, because you got the best right tackle on the board, and then you were able to come in with the third best tight end on the board. So you're able to get 1 and 3 instead of 1, maybe 2, and like 10. There's a big distinction there. And that's why I still say the Jets made the right pick taking Membu. The Jets made the right pick of taking Taylor. And they got 2 day 1 starters in the draft right away.
John says, Jake, if by the middle of September there are 3 starters from this draft, you change your grade to an A. No, because I think it's like, what level of starters are they? Are we talking about a fringe starter, a high-end contributor? Like 2022, That's an A in September because we saw just the sheer talent of Sauce, Garrett, Brees, Jermaine immediately. And Jermaine didn't even do a ton his rookie year because he was behind Carl Lawson and a bunch of guys in front of him. And then as the year went on, he got more playing time.
I was actually pretty surprised that they waited until, the 6th round to take an edge rusher. I thought they would have gone a little bit earlier with that position, just like defensive tackle. But the fact that they didn't shows they have a lot of faith in Jermaine Johnson coming back from this Achilles injury. It's going to be a gamble. I still say people should be a little patient with the Florida State kid because you have no idea how he's going to be able to recover from an injury like that. But at the very least, not taking an edge rusher early tells me that this team is still very high on Jermaine Johnson moving forward.
Hit the like button if you're in here. Cisco says there's 544 of you watching the show, but there's only 124 likes. If you want to support the channel, support the show, it's free. Just click thumbs up and spread the word. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. Jet fans, I believe, are the best fans in sports, and we're appreciative of you guys tuning in each and every day around here. Let's see. Comments, questions, super chats. All right, maybe some of you can see Doug this time. Doug in the corner has called back in. Doug, are you there?
Can you see me this time?
I mean,
yeah,
I can.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We fixed it. I called from my phone this time, so maybe it was just my computer being weird. I don't know why.
You look great, Doug. How are you?
Living the dream, sitting in the corner, can't complain, taking things day by day. It's ironic people said that I'm getting evicted because my lease is up this week and I am in the process of moving out. So that is
Where are we
ironic.
moving to, Doug? Are you moving in with Beast?
No, I'd rather kill myself.
Beast, would you accept Doug as a roommate in the attic?
He has no idea what's going on right now.
Beast? We'll check back in with him in a bit.
Yeah, I would do. There's anything else I'd rather live with than Beastbreaker.
It was
come on.
I mean, can't rely on the guy for anything. Apparently,
it was a blank stare at the screen.
You'd have a pet guinea pig. That would entice you, Doug?
No. I don't need to take care of a grown man. I don't.
He'd be taking care of you. He cooked you breakfast.
I don't want whatever he's making. I don't think it's good, and I don't want it. He's like if Butterbean went all wrong.
It's an interesting comp.
But yeah. Before you guys couldn't see me earlier, I was saying though, I guess I have no really. I like the first 3 picks, and then I agree with Nick. You got to wait and see. Because I bet if you went to the Rams a few years ago and said your best player out of that draft is going to be Puka Nacua, you wouldn't believe that. So you really got to wait and see what happens with these guys, how they translate to the NFL. When people are grading it, it's all their opinions. I mean, if it's Mel Kiper grading it, unless you drafted Shedeur Sanders, you failed this year. So
good Lord, that was shocking. We're watching the whole thing. They have the stream up during the process, and we're listening to him. I have never seen anything like that before in my life. That was insanity.
And he acts like he's never gotten it wrong before. He said Jimmy Clausen would be the best quarterback ever. He barely lasted 2-3 years in the NFL. So
shocking.
But that's why I just think draft grades right now are ridiculous. You really need to evaluate these guys, see if they translate differently in the NFL, see if they're in the right scheme. And I agree with you, Jake. You got to trust the Jets when they're drafting defensive backs, or Aaron Glenn when you're drafting defensive backs. He was a good corner in the NFL. He's shown that he can build good defensive backs in Detroit. So you got to trust him when it comes to that position. Otherwise, I think it's just wait and see. I also think there might be high on Leonard Taylor. You mentioned that a little bit earlier, Nick. They're high on Leonard Taylor. Maybe they see a lot of him. That's why they didn't go DT. And they've had a lot of success with UDFAs in the past. So we'll just see what happens. I'm more wait and see. But I did love the first 3 picks.
Fair. Look, the thing with grades is, I mean, it's fun. It's good to talk about them. But in the grand scheme of things, for everyone who believed in Aaron Glenn, if this draft shaked your belief in him, then you never really believed in the guy. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt, whether you're pro the hire or not. Time will tell. What is fascinating about this draft, though, and good call from you, Doug. I'm glad we could see it. This is the first time since the Jets had Bill Parcells as their head coach and GM where they're a head coach-driven organization, where the head coach has more say than the general manager. There's not a single player picked that Aaron Glenn was not on board with. Like that. That's the difference. Like it's no longer, hey, the front office is picking the players for the coach. The coach is telling the front office what players he wants.
Worked out last time. It worked out last time. And again, we talk about Robert Saleh and the players that they brought, but they weren't really great when it came to player development on the offensive side of the football. If this staff can develop both offensive and defensive young players, what the hell are we complaining about here? I think there's a very good chance that this coaching staff is just a massive upgrade across the board, and you're going to win a couple extra games because of them to begin with. I really, really think that they had a very strong draft class. The coaching staff has passed every test so far to this point. I'm really excited to see what training camp practices are going to look like because I think they're going to be physical. There's going to be a lot of competition, and this team is only going to get better as the season goes on.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Who better than Bo C? Bo, you always support the show. We appreciate you. And the requested Gator, the Bo Knows video is in, and hopefully post-draft we get something for you, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Dean Paparella, Johnny P, Z Breed, Cisco Lopez, Gavin McNall, Carl Johnson, Eric Rivera, Daniel Yanez, Coach Drunk, Chris Curtis, and Juno Rudy, all receiving channel memberships from Bo C. Bo knows. Smash the like button if you haven't. Otherwise, Beast Breaker is going to sit on you. Those are the rules. I didn't make them. I'm just enforcing them. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone I'd imagine is happier than most. Not only did the Jets take a player from his beloved school, but they then didn't draft any player to replace his other favorite player on the New York Jets. It's time to say hello to this guy.
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State, I really love Florida State. Jordan Travis, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Ricky.
What's happening, Jake? What's happening, Nick?
Ricky, I love the setup here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So Beast cannot change his draft grade until these guys have played and shown that they can be successful in the league. You know, he truly is the new Allen. Draft and judging a draft pick after they've accomplished something. Classic. At any rate, I want to explain something. Like, you know, I know a lot of people are kind of split on the draft, happy with the top of it, not happy with the later picks. But the thing is like, we're not looking for starters in those later rounds. Like Francisco, the linebacker kid from Miami, he's our Chaz Surratt replacement. He's depth. He's a backup. The kid Barron, also from Miami, while not the best pass rusher, that kid can set the edge. He's very good against the run. He is kind of going to be like our JFM role type replacement. I'm very happy with the first three picks. Now, the Arian Smith pick, I wasn't crazy about. I know that he's got the speed and everything, but I'm going to give you guys a player comp for Arian Smith, or what he could be, maybe. Marquise Goodwin, that had a long career, played for the Bills and the 49ers, was a super fast, like former track star. He had a long career, not a spectacular career, but he was a role player in the league for a long time. And I think we could end up with something like that from Smith. Now, the fact that we really could use a number 2 wide receiver, and we probably ended up with more like a number 4 wide receiver, not, you know, I feel we could have went a different way, but I'm going to reserve judgment and wait and see how this all pans out. I do have faith in our coaching staff, and super happy with the AZ pick naturally, but looking forward to where this thing goes. And To Doug, hang in there, man, and don't worry about it. Whether you got the lights on or off, you're still a hell of a lot brighter than Baconator 666.
Just checking my guitar. I'm just fixing things right now. Well, I said I'm fixing some things. Can y'all wait a minute? Jesus Christ. I'm trying to fix things. Give me a minute. I'm coming. Would you? I'll call you back. I said I'd call you back. Thank you. Wait.
Just another day in peace world, baby. We're all
I
just
think
living
it just goes back Ricky's post, Ricky's comments. Again, I think he's the best one. I really appreciate his comments. Look, Goodwin, really solid comp, and if that's who you're getting in the fourth round, that's perfectly fine. You're not going to find a wide receiver 2 in the fourth round. It's very, very rare for that to happen. Even if they drafted a receiver in the fourth round that fans wanted over a guy like Smith, there's no guarantee that he just makes the final roster. There's no guarantee that he is your number 2 wide receiver. If you really want a number 2, you're going to have to sign one of them, whether it's Amari Cooper or somebody else.
Super chat from Ace of Spade. Any concern? I heard the corner we drafted runs a 4.5. Glenn talked about that at the press conference. You were there. Relay what he said.
Game speed is a lot different than straight line speed. And that was one thing Aaron Glenn made very, very clear. That is the prototypical. It's going to be interesting because Steve Wilkes runs a more zone-based defense compared to Aaron Glenn, who loves running man press. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Could this mean that Brandon Stevens moves to safety? Kind of difficult to see that because they're paying him $12 million a year. But with Thomas, you are getting the best press corner in college football last year. I mean, he was fantastic. He's also a great leader. Florida State had a miserable year, but he stayed true to the team. He didn't want to transfer. He kept pushing, kept trying to make the team better. He's a first-round pick. Azrae Thomas could have easily gone in the first round, and he ended up in the third round. Could the Jets have taken a tackle there? Could they have taken a wide receiver? Of course. Of course they could have. But is that better value than the 46th overall player of the draft? It's not. It's just not. They got a really good player who could develop into a really good starter in the third round. That's all you can ask for when you're looking for a best player available.
Liam says, Beast, reset your energy. Start your day over.
Go back to bed. Wake up in a couple hours. Then you restart.
Beast took a nap live on the show yesterday. It was something.
Of course he did.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, he and then he woke up and he was recharged. Here's a live look of what that looked like. Hey, Beast, you up?
I hear you. Special man, that one. Special man.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's take one more call with Nick, and then I'll stay on for the rest. Not going to do a super long show because the Knicks play at 1 today, baby. Let's go. Say hello to the great Indy Jets who joined us now. What's up, Indy?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Hey, Nick, do you remember what Amon-Ra St. Brown, what they said about St. Brown when he came out of USC?
Can't remember what they said, but I know that he was not a highly touted prospect. And he was undersized.
And he lacked focus, which attributed to his drops. Okay, that's what I was just reading this morning. It was his lack of focus attributed it to his drops. Okay, and he was picked at 112. Now you take these same guys, and I don't say that AG was part of that pick, but they kind of have a blueprint of how to fix that kind of guy. I mean, if Smith, I was kind of down on that Smith pick at first, but when you start comparing, what they did to St. Brown, at least they have a blueprint and a plan to say, hey, we've done it once before. We fixed a guy. You can't teach speed, but maybe you can teach him how to catch a little bit better. And now
to the judge machine he goes.
That should be his girlfriend.
Glenn's reaction after, we asked him about it. He was asked about the drops. And he made very clear, you can fix drops. You can fix that. We are going to take care of them. And also, he mentioned the mentality of the player. This isn't a player coming in saying, oh, I have no weaknesses. I was, this wasn't a reach. I should have been taken a long time beforehand. This is a player that acknowledged it in the press conference. He goes, that's something I really need to work on, and I'm going to do everything I can to fix it. Is that not what you want in a player for the first draft?
Absolutely.
Is that not the kind of person you want on your team?
And then on top of that, you have a coaching, staff that's already done it with a player. And look at what St. Brown's turned into.
Jameson Williams too.
Yeah, and so that is, if nothing else, it's at least a recipe for success. I'm not saying he will be, but at least you put the pieces together to say we've got the kid that's got the talent, he's got the drive to do better, and we've got the coaching staff that's proven they've already done it once before. So to me, I don't think that maybe that's not such a bad pick after all.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that
That's
it
all I
wasn't
got.
maybe a reach. I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't a reach. It's probably the biggest reach of the draft that they had.
Probably.
But if we're gonna sit here and dock the team because they drafted this receiver because they see something in him and they want to be able to coach him up, and we're going to dock him so much that we're going to ignore the fact that they got the best tackle in the draft, they got one of the best tight ends in the draft, and they got one of the best press corners in the draft, then what are we actually talking about here?
Exactly. I think the draft grade, obviously, the grades don't mean a whole lot now, but you don't get really graded for 3 years plus.
Right.
But I think that the grades should be a little bit higher than average.
I still say A- because I love the first 3 picks. I love the Malachi Moore pick. They are very high on the Malachi Moore pick. And
yep,
you
same
have to
here.
trust the coaching staff.
Well,
Yeah,
hope it
so
works out,
I think
indeed.
that first 5 picks were great.
I don't know. Arian Smith to me is not a great pick, but I appreciate the optimism. But once again, day 3 is day 3. To me, it was imperative they came away with a good approach to pick 7, 42, and 73, and I like what they did. So I'm not going to sit here and freak out over the third day.
It's again, we have no idea what's going to happen. It very well could be that Arian Smith's the best pick out of all of them. We're criticizing that pick the most.
That would be funny.
Maybe he becomes Amon-Ra St. Brown. Maybe that's what happens. But you look at the approach. Did the Jets have the right approach in the draft? And
maybe I'm going to date Sidney Sweeney. We never know if we're just throwing out hypotheticals, right?
Absolutely, and it's one of those things where draft picks take time. They need development. If you trust his coaching staff from their experiences, there's reason to be optimistic after this draft. They got better in multiple positions, and that's all you can ask for when you go into a draft like this.
Nick, enjoy your day. Appreciate you hopping on, and we'll catch up later this week.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jake.
Nick Faria, weekly spot on the show, fresh off spending the weekend at One Jets Drive, covering the Jets draft from the Jets War Room. Bo C with a super chat. Thank you, Bo. Curious, Nick, if all these draft picks turned out to be legitimate players and feel the rows better than average, what do you have our record at? I should have asked him this, Bo. I didn't see this till the end. It's a good question. If I had to guess, Nick probably is leaning with the Jets being a little better than most of us have it. But I'll ask him that next time for you, Bo C. Wish I saw this, but I don't know. I mean, the Jets over-under is at 5.5 for a reason, is it not? That's a real thing. All right, open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. Let me know your thoughts on the draft. What was your favorite pick? What was your least favorite pick? Write it in the chat right now. Favorite pick, least favorite pick. Favorite pick, least favorite pick. I'll tell you mine. You ready? Favorite pick. Mason Taylor, pick 42. Least favorite pick. Arian Smith, pick 110. Sneaky good pick. Malachi Moore, pick 130. How many starters from this draft? 7, 42, and 130 start week 1. I think they came away with 3 starters immediately, and Thomas eventually is a starter. That's how I'm looking at it. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Beastbreaker says Malachi Moore, great 3rd-round pick. Indy Jets, Moore will start too. Cody says favorite is Donovan Edwards, UDFA. They have added. I should have asked Nick that, some of the UDFAs. We'll talk more about it this week on the show. There's a couple of the UDFA picks I really like. All right, load up your calls here. Comments, questions, super chats. Last chance to get in on the raffle. Giving away a signed Joe Namath jersey. You're going to want to in on that. I mean, how many Joe Namath jerseys are out there signed? Justin Fields signed helmet. That's right. He did an autograph signing about 3 weeks ago, and I was able to lock in a Fields helmet. Aaron Glenn helmet. Curtis Martin helmet. DeBrick helmet. Jermaine Johnson jersey. AG signed photo. All these autographed. Find me the show that's giving you that, people. These nuts Thomas could be really good. Ron Verb, I see 4 to 5 potential starters. I mean, that's a home run class in theory, if they're good. Membu starts week 1. Taylor starts week 1. Thomas will get a chance to compete, but he won't start week 1. Malachi Moore, I believe, is the starting safety opposite Andre Sisco. I think that's why they traded up. They had a starter level grade on the guy, and they moved up for him. Ricky says Thomas will be very good. I mean, Ricky's Mr. Florida State. Rourke stripped. I like the tight end pick. Don't like Miami Edge. Look, we'll find out what Tyler Barron is. I've had some Miami fans tell me it's a good pick, but, you know. I don't know if that means they're going to be right. We'll see. Let's hear from Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn yesterday asked about the Jets' process in finding players that he identifies as what they're looking for. Here's AG on that.
I think the number one thing is we really got guys that fit the brand of who we're going to be. And that was something that we talked about, even starting in free agency to the draft. And we're very intentional about guys who want to be a part of this organization. And I would say the same things when it comes to coaches also. Like, everyone fits, and we want to continue that trend. Because once you do that, man, the core of each person is the same. We might look different, we might act different, but the core of everyone here is the same, and that's what we want to try to do.
What is that brand that you're trying to establish?
Tough, physical, violent, aggressive, a resilient attitude. If we continue to get guys like that, I mean, you'll start to see the brand show up on the grass.
Time will tell. If you're an Aaron Glenn believer, then you got to hope that he knows how to evaluate players.
You get the fuck out.
That's Aaron Glenn to his doubters. Like this guy on the line. C- grade. Go.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, dude. I don't really like I didn't really like our draft. Like, I didn't like what we did in day 3. I thought day 3 was terrible, man. Like, the Arian Smith pick. It just, like, as someone that really has been studying the receivers, I'm sick right now because Jalen Royals was way better prospect. I know people compare him to Malachi Corley, but he's nothing like Malachi Corley. The Chiefs drafted him, and his comparison was Rashee Rice, and that's just my concern. I love the Mason Taylor pick; it's my favorite pick. I think Donovan Edwards is a great sleeper pick in the undrafted. I like some of the things we did, but I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I just got to keep it real.
I get it. I didn't love it, but did you like the first 2 days?
Yes.
And that's
the first
more
2
important
days,
than day 3.
The first 2 days, I definitely agree. Yeah, it is. It's just the 4th round pick really blew me. Like, it really did.
Yeah, I mean, they took a guy that had a 6th or 7th round grade by 2 people I really respect in round 4. Hopefully the Jets know more than most people, because the consensus is that's a huge reach.
It's giving Idzik vibes. Like, maybe I'm I don't
Oh,
know.
no, 100%. Because if you think about it, like the 4th round, pick 110, that's not a throwaway pick. That's still a pretty high pick in this draft.
If you know how to draft, I mean,
You can find a starter there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer over here, but it's just frustrating. But yeah, those are my dogs. They're happy with the pick, I guess.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, man. We'll see what happens. So yeah.
Hang in there, all right? You gotta believe in Aaron Glenn, all right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I'm not trying to be the big hater or anything like that, but I definitely, it definitely was just, like I said, it's just disappointing. But we'll see. I mean, I gotta look to see. I heard the fifth round picks that people liked. I gotta look more into those guys, but that was the one pick where I was like, "What the hell are we doing?" But yeah.
Well, believe in AG is my advice.
You get the fuck out.
Or GTFO. Gator just sent me this. New t-shirt, perhaps. JakeAsman.com. Also, how many memberships are we away from being able to add this as an emoji? Over 60-something. Just a bunch expired. I'll work on this. Try and get this as an emoji here, but we're going to need a lot of memberships for that over the next several days. But I like this. I think this could work as a t-shirt. You get the F out. You know what? I'm just going to replace one of our current emojis and add it. Bobby Gotti emoji has been replaced to add this emoji, effective immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets Johnny has gifted 5 channel memberships. Yeah.
You get the fuck out.
Here we go. If you hear your name called, you say thank you to Jets Johnny for paying it forward, supporting the channel as he always does. Matthew C., Jet Life, Tap Sandy Button, Sean Weedle, and Nitty all receiving a channel membership. Ladies and gentlemen, keep gifting. Last day to get in on the raffle. Signed Broadway Joe jersey. Signed, autographed, spectacular Justin Fields helmet. Signed AG helmet. Signed Martin helmet. Signed DeBrick helmet. Signed Jermaine jersey. And signed AG photo. Jets Johnny with a $5.69 super chat. I don't know how you do that. Thank you for the draft coverage this weekend. Let's see them play before we crash out. JETS, Jets. Over 15 hours of live draft coverage we did on the channel the last 2 days. Not to mention like a 3-hour show Friday morning, the day after the draft. First round. We were live from the draft show night 1. And again, thank you to everyone who made it to the party. I had a professional photographer named Fred there. He's going to send me the pictures this week. So I will post those in a photo album for everyone to see on Patreon/Discord. Also, if you're interested in coming to the Yankee game outing with us, it's for Patreon members. They're going to find out about it. All the info will be there this week when I finalize it. So please check out the Patreon and get in the Discord if you are going to want to join us. Jay says, does Shador ever get a start in the NFL? Yeah, he'll start. He's better than Dalen Gabriel. That pick makes no sense by the Browns. Why take Gabriel in the 3rd round and then take Shador? Doesn't make any sense. Ron Verb, I see a Let Brady Cook t-shirt in our future. Let Brady cook. I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. I don't even know if he's going to make the team. In all likelihood, he doesn't. He's just a camp arm. Brady Cook, the quarterback from Missouri that the Jets added today as a UDFA. Maybe it was yesterday they signed him. So, I mean, look, we'll see. Peg and Artie with a massive super chat here. $25. 6 raffle entries. Gotta win something for Artie. I love it. Shout out to you, Peg. Great to meet you in person at the party. Gator says phone lines open. Call in or Beast will play guitar for the rest of the show.
Are you sure you want me to do something like that, man? Right now my arm is not feeling so hot, but that's why I'm trying to get this going and get the circulation back into the fingers. Right now, because I get the tingles. Now, Gator, please, can you be a little nicer? Just put and get my T-shirt ready. The one that says, "I'm the teacher, you're the bitch," and in the back of the T-shirt, how you like them apples? Green, gold, or red? Pick your poison, kid. What? And we got two guys here, Weed, and we got Pimp Nate. What's up, Pimp Nate? What's happening, Gino?
Pimp Nate and we. What's up?
So
How we doing, guys?
What's your grade for the draft pick? What was your grades?
What was my grades?
Yeah, what were the grades? Mine was B-.
I give it.
I got left back.
I'm not talking that one, you dumbbell. I'm talking grade. An actual grade. A, B, C, D, or F. Where's your point?
What? In high school?
No, I'm talking the draft pick, the NFL draft pick yesterday for 7 hours.
Okay. I'm giving it an A. I'm all over it, Beast.
A plus.
A plus for Weed.
Wait, hold it. Time out. You're giving it an A. Are you sure? Are you really sure with that?
I mean, granted, it's an ignorant opinion because I don't watch tape and spend hundreds of hours. But they got the guys they wanted, right? That's who they wanted. They got Arius Smith. Why are you complaining, Beast? Who did you want instead of Arius Smith? Who did you want?
First of all, I want to see the guy. I want to see what his numbers were because I'm not.
But who did you want? Who did you want over Arius Smith? Who did you want? What's his name?
I want someone special. Like, there's a couple guys. There was a couple guys in California I wanted, but you know what? That's okay. You know what?
Yo, imagine if they got Rick Kent from Brigham State.
Am I gonna bitch about it? No. I'm just gonna sit here and not complain about it. I'm just gonna shut up, do my part, and just say, okay, that's fine, whatever.
There's no way you shut up. No shot.
Say that again?
There's no shot that you shut up. You're not gonna shut up.
He only stops talking when he has a cheeseburger.
I'm gonna keep calm and I'm gonna watch the players wisely. You gotta remember, use this first instead of using the other thing. Common sense, people. And so how are you guys doing this morning? Are you guys going to a Mets game or where you guys going to?
No, the Mets are in D.C. I'm going back. I'm heading back from the Shore House.
New York. What are you, stupid or something? Come on, man. They're in Flushing. The Mets are in Flushing, New York.
Yeah, but they're playing in D.C. The actual team is in D.C. right now. Are you stupid or something?
Oh, you're going to D.C., huh? Okay.
No, listen. Yo, shut up for a second. Do what you said you were gonna do. Do what you said you're gonna do. Listen up, Beast.
Get him, Nate.
I was at the Nick Shine house for the draft party this weekend. I'm dropping Weed off in Keensburg. I gotta be at MSG at 2:00, and then Tuesday, not until Tuesday, will we be in Flushing when the New York Metropolitans are back home at Citi Field. Any questions?
Very good. Very good. I like that. Oh, be careful when you're down in D.C. Don't get shot down there.
I'm not. Yo, you don't fucking listen. I'm not going to D.C. I haven't been in D.C. in years. Since Obama was president, I haven't been in D.C.
Yo.
You got potatoes in your ears?
Hey, my ears are clear, kid. 50% all the way flush. See, I know how to play this game, so I'm just saying, be careful when you're down in D.C. That's all I'm trying to say.
Pal, buddy. Myself, my human body is not going to Washington, D.C.
Yes,
I'm not doing it. I'm going back home to New York City, and guess what? I wasn't even in D.C. Where was I? Did you listen to the story? Where was I? Where am I coming from? Where did I start?
I'm not gonna even yell right now and scream and cause a heart attack.
You don't pay attention, bro. I'm coming from the Nick Shine Jersey Shore house for the draft party down in Atlantic City, Ocean City. We're going back to New York City. D and C were never mentioned.
Thank you. I said thank you. That's all I said. Thank you. That's all I needed.
Any more questions?
Anything else? No other questions asked. Thank you. Now you guys have fun. You guys have some fun. Go out and enjoy and watch those Knicks today because we're going to win today over those bum Pistons. We're going to bitch slap them like we were their daddy. And you know what that old saying is? Who's the bitch now, boys? You?
Hell yeah. Who's the bitch now, Weed?
Peacebreaker?
No. There should be a new T-shirt coming out.
I can't hear the conversation.
You're the bitches, and you know what? We're the pimps, and you guys are the hoes. So line up the line and get up ready to set it up. Tom Ace, I'm not giving that to Nate. I'm giving it to Dr. Jake. Jake deserves it because, number one, he gave me something, so I'm giving something back. So learn the basics, you butthead. Don't make me go Biff Tannen on you. And you know who I'm talking about, Biff Tannen. You know who I'm referring to. The man from Back to the Future. Now, kids, be safe, have fun, and go Knicks.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
What a call that was, huh? Nate, Weed, Beast, all coming together for entertainment, the likes of which we've never seen before. We'll check back in with them on their drive shortly. But right now, let's say hello to a man who will give us an up-close and personal take on the state of the Jets following the first-ever draft for Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hello, Jake.
David, how we feeling?
We're feeling just fine. Go Knicks. And as far as you dating the famous actresses, it's possible because years ago I had an affair with my all-time crush, Olivia Newton-John. She didn't want to get it out there, you know. But then I woke up. Then I woke up.
David. I was excited for a moment.
Well, you know what? Yeah. But anyway, it's possible for you. I mean, you're a pretty much famous person now, and
Nothing gets women more excited than a guy who talks about a bad football team for a living.
Well, it's more than that, Jake. Your show is so much fun, and it's more than just talking about the Jets. But
you see, Peacebreaker. I honestly, every time Nate calls in, I'm going to ask him if he's on his way to DC now.
No, that was so funny, But the Beast reminds me, like when I get up in the morning, my legs aren't working, my back's sore, my shoulders hurting. It's like, I got to lumber to the bathroom and get my coffee and try to get the kinks out of everything.
Oh yeah.
But that's a classic call. That was such a funny call. But so anyway, my favorite pick, I'm on the Ricky New York Jets train. My nephews went to Florida State, so my favorite pick is the Florida State kid. And maybe him and Sauce will be bookends, and they could be like Sauce and Pepper, or Sauce and hot sauce, or whatever.
I like it. We can work on that. We could come up with what the right name is for them if they become an elite corner duo.
Oh man, wouldn't that be great if that happens? That would be terrific. I do not have a least favorite pick. I got to give it credit to you and your guests analyzing everything. I do not have a least favorite pick. I'm going with that, and I like the fact that Nick said about Aaron Glenn, comparable to Bill Parcells, where he's the one that makes the picks and all that kind of stuff. So I guess it's so different from Saleh and Douglas, So and the other
different structure for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I wanted them to draft the quarterback in the later rounds, and this Cook guy, I seen late last night. I seen that they picked him up, so I immediately got on and watched film and everything. And you know me, I'm gullible. I'm watching this and all, and I'm thinking, well, it looks like the Jets got their next Brady.
Hey, from your lips to God's ears, David T.
Yeah, really. Hey, we got it. You know what I mean? We got it. We got to think positive, and my positivity is, especially after yesterday, is really coming back strong. So,
I love it. David, you're the man. And next time you're out and about, all right? I have a funny feeling a pretty blonde woman might be all over you. Be careful, all right?
oh my God. Wow. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David T, everyone. The man, the myth, the legend. Reminder, this show's available as a podcast, Apple or Spotify. Search Jake Asman Show. Spread the word to your Jet fans that the show that you love on YouTube is available for people who only consume stuff as podcasts. Connor Long says Brady Cook is a great UDFA value. Tyler Barron was best value pick. PFF Connor. Let's hear from Connor. I want his breakdown on the Jets. Peter Renfro says not having Bobby here makes the show watchable. And for the record, I still haven't gotten my money back from him. Be careful who you give money to these days. Well, why would you get money back from Bobby? If you paid him money for the weight loss challenge, he lost the weight. Unless I'm missing about another payment. Beastbreaker says, Jake, you better get going to the Garden and get your seats. Well, Beast, I got some news for you. The Knicks are playing in Detroit today, so they're not at the Garden. All right, let's check in with Nate and Weed. They're on their way to DC. Guys, how we doing?
Yeah, we made the turnaround. We're going to DC. Hopefully we'll get there by the end.
I can't wait, man.
Guys, fucking death.
Are you guys going to make first pitch?
Yeah, hopefully. Dude, I got to work at 2. Forget that. That was tough. Anyway, I was genuine about the Jets. I give them an A, Jake. And before you run me off the show, the Jets, I feel like, and again, I did 87 mock drafts, and the only pick I got right was Armand Membu. So it's not like I like the guys they got, right? But they got the guys they wanted, right? They didn't. We all thought it was a 6th or 7th round pick. Dom was on. He was like, I got a 7th round grade on this guy, and they got him in the 4th. That means they didn't want to risk anyone taking Arius Smith. He might be the next Robbie Anderson. He might be the next Devin Smith from Ohio State, but like we've seen worse in the 2nd round even. So they got guys they wanted. Who else did they trade up for? Was it the safety? They traded up for the safety, and I think right after that, like they got guys they clearly had a target on, and like Glenn said, is going to play their style of football. So if you have confidence in the regime going into it, then I'm not going to waver just because it's not what like PFF had them graded. And shout out to you for the PFF Connor. I support that. PFF Connor, PFF Jake. Long live the Puberty Podcast. But I don't know if I had a favorite pick, but my favorite day was definitely day 2. At first, Mason Taylor I was iffy on, and that was another name that we heard the Jets were all over, right? And they brought in Arian Smith for a top 30, right? So again, they got the guys they wanted. But we heard overnight that they were going to get Taylor, and that was the guy they were targeting at 42, and then they got him. He, to me, shout out to BJF, he said this. He said his comp was like Dustin Keller, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. Because Dustin Keller wasn't a great blocker. He wasn't like super twitchy. This guy's actually faster than Dustin, but he had great hands, and he caught everything.
He just got open and made plays, yeah.
Yeah, and he was a football player. Like, you turn on tape, it's like, his 40-yard dash, like none of that standing out. And same with A.Z. Thomas. It's like, bro, A.Z. Thomas, until proven otherwise, is Darrell Revis with a slower 40 time. Like, when you turn on his tape, same thing. He like anticipates routes. He seems to, study more than any DB in the league. He was or in the ACC. He was probably the best corner in the ACC. So the first 3 days, I love, and especially looking into the picks more, we got our. I really like the tight end, and then like you said, day 4, it's kind of a crapshoot, but they got guys they had a target on. They didn't sit back and wait and say, oh, well, we'll take whatever the best player available is, Jabari Zuniga or Michael Clemens, whoever falls to us. They had, he said, this guy, I want this linebacker from Miami, I want this guy on the edge, and they got him. So in that case, I'm like, all right, until proven otherwise, I mean, there's a chance they're all terrible, and then we're like, holy shit, we're in a really bad place with guys that don't know how to evaluate talent. But until proven otherwise, I'm all behind.
Jake, this helmet doesn't fit. I'm trying to put it on all weekend. My head's too big.
You know, it just shows you the athletes back in the day were way smaller than we are today. Emerson Boozer was really small.
It's true. That was one mini me used to play. Do you want to, Jake? Do you want a 2-for-1 here, and I'll pass you off to Weed the People?
Well, I did want to say this, Nate. What is your response to people saying that they don't enjoy you on 4 wheels, they prefer you on 2 wheels?
Yeah, I apologize. I also don't enjoy it either. I'd much rather be on 2 wheels than 4 wheels. I was actually on my way down here, and like 500 feet in front of me, there was a massive crash, and then I was in a standstill for like 20 minutes. So I got down here super late last night. Never happens on a bicycle. A little boo-boo here and there. Might need a Band-Aid, but
so you were just there for one night?
Literally like 13 hours. Yeah, I had to be in the gym yesterday until like 4. I got the car at 6 or 7, but then with the little traffic delay, got there before 10, and we left at 11. So like, yeah, I was there like 13 hours.
They couldn't sleep because of my snoring.
Yeah, yo, check the Discord. Yo, Weed is the most. It's incredible. He sounds like a fucking locomotive train in the morning. Like it was so loud. I was up since 6 a.m. Don't ever room with Weed the People. He's the worst person to sleep next to. And then he wakes up mid sleep with his eyes closed and smokes a cigarette on the balcony while he's still snoring, and it's fucking disgusting, bro. It's so disgusting. Don't ever room with Weed the People.
At least I'm not shoving donuts in your fucking mouth.
Yeah, then I shoved the donut in his mouth to wake him up because I felt bad. I was trying to water torture him too. I was gonna hit him with the Chinese water torture because he was waking up the whole house, bro. His water, yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
What did you guys do?
I was gonna waterboard him.
I got that spider sense. You can't get me with.
Yeah, it was rough.
What did you do last?
Say it again, Jake. What did we do?
Yeah.
So I drove all the way to Atlantic City, and I'm like, yeah, we're in meeting because I think they were like, yeah, we're going to Caesars. I'm thinking whatever. Weed's talking crazy. They're like, yo, make a left at the boardwalk. Meet us at Johnny Rockets. We just got a chocolate shake. I was about to turn home. It was pouring rain, so yeah.
I don't know what you mean. I was talking crazy. I was just trying to buy some crack.
Could you hear me, Jake?
Yeah, I did. That's
sorry, the GPS was going off. But yeah, we went to Johnny Rockets, and then they did a little gambling inside, and we watched some of the basketball games in the casino, had some drinks, and then went back to the Shore House and had like a live in-person DP on the patio until 2 or 3 a.m.
It was a good time.
Well, I'm glad you guys got together. It looked like a tremendous outing.
Weed, you want to take over? Anything to say to Jake?
What up, Jake? How you doing?
Weed, did you have a good weekend?
I had a blast, man. I was trying to buy crack in Atlantic City, but nobody would help me out.
Weed, thank you. Thank you for the time.
You get the fuck out.
All right. Unreal. Super chat here, big fella. I saw Gruden likes Arian Smith. I'm willing to give him time. We'll have to see. Brady Cook is poop. Donovan Edwards may be a nice signing. I liked Edwards in college. I didn't watch him much this year, but you watched him in the playoff with Michigan 2 years ago. All right. It's the last day to get in on the raffle, right? And I think a bunch of you are missing out on a chance to win prizes. So I gifted 5 channel memberships in part from our good friend M. Morris here. So these are from me and M. Morris. M. Morris, I'm putting you down in the raffle. And I'm also entering anyone who got a membership here in the raffle. So if you hear your name called, you're in the Asmaniac raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the jet chant. The following 5 people are channel members: Dre Day, Ryan Moss, Jared B., Weed Should Not Do Drugs, J-Dubs, and Brad McCaffrey, all receiving channel memberships. All right. Home stretch here. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked for this man to call in. I want his takes. Connor Long, your thoughts on the Jets draft, buddy?
Jake, how are you?
Oh, doing well, Connor. How are you?
Can't complain. I know. So the first round, we were all there. You wanted Warren. I wanted Warren. I can't complain, though, still about getting all 5 of your offensive line pieces in place. So really like the Membu pick. Wasn't that big of a fan with the Taylor pick, just given the fact he was pretty. I think he needs to develop into a blocker. He has the size to play in line, but when is he really going to be able to implement that? I think that's something coaching can help with. I would have much preferred a Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green, someone who is a speedy receiving threat, but also has the ability to align in line. He can play in the slot, can play on the outside. So I didn't hate the Taylor pick, but it wasn't my favorite. A.Z. Thomas, I think a great player. I just don't think they needed to go cornerback at 73. And then Arian Smith, interesting player. I think a 6th or 7th round would have been a more secure landing spot for him. Jalen Royals was still on the board when the Jets picked there, so I would have loved Jalen Royals. I think he's a guy who can get you contested catches, great route runner. I think what they're hoping with Arian Smith is they can literally just get him downfield on a seam. They can run gadget plays with him, and they can, coach the drop issues out of him. I think the Jets' best value pick, though, overall came in the 5th round, and they traded up for him. I think that was Tyler Barron from Miami. I mean, I've been talking about this for a while. Edge is a sneaky position in need for the Jets. You have Will McDonald, then you have Jermaine Johnson, who's coming off an Achilles injury. You have Brady McGregor, Eric Watts, Rashad Weaver, Michael Clemens, a bunch of guys who are expected to compete for roster spots. I think Barron kind of comes in and could add some more juice to that room. He has value as a run defender. I mean, we love Will McDonald. We love Jermaine Johnson. Let's be real. They're not the best run defenders in the world. So he adds some run defense value to this room. He's an Aaron Glenn type player. He's known for his speed, his relentless motor. That's another thing. That's another reason I like him. And he has a high floor. He certainly has areas to clean up. He's not a complete player, but the worst case, I think, for Barron is he's a young, athletic pass rusher who comes in and provides you some special teams value and gets you 4 or 5 sacks. I think that was the Jets' best value pick.
I love it. No notes. Connor, great breakdown. You should do a podcast on the Jets, right? Yeah, I feel like that would be good for you.
Thank you.
What's the name of the show? Plug the podcast, Connor.
Appreciate it. You guys can find me NY Flight Jets Talk on YouTube. Jake, you're the best. Appreciate you as always. And Brady Cook, franchise quarterback. What a steal.
Wow. Even with a hot take at the end. Love it. What a pro. What a pro. Purple Belt Mike. He's up next. What's up, Mike?
You watched those movies?
I did.
Hi, Mrs. PBM.
Yo, shit. I was talking to my wife. What up?
Tell her I say hello.
Jake says hi, Chelsea. She said hi.
Wonderful.
The only thing, I'm not going to give the draft an F. I just really am upset we didn't get a defensive tackle. And you know that, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully these guys turn out good. But that's the only black cloud for me is you did not get a defensive tackle. And there was opportunities to do it. We could have got Yaha Black, too, and he would have been
You just like his name because his name is Yaha.
No, I think he's good. I watched, the clips on him. I'm not going to say I'm no scouting of him. I didn't know about him until yesterday, and I saw the 5th round. I was like, oh, that's perfect. He literally, his MO is run stopping. But whatever. I do think that kid Moore is going to be a starter, though. So
I think
we
he
have at
starts
least
day
3
one.
starters.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens, man.
Mike, you have a great day.
Peace. You too.
PBM, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going with the legends on the line. Joining us right now on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise. Jake, you hear
Mikey,
me?
Can I hear you?
Jake.
Yes.
Jason Taylor's son is on the Jets. Yay!
Yeah.
He's going to the Jets game, every game, he said. With his, I want to get his jersey, Jason Taylor's son's jersey.
Mason Taylor?
And I want to give you, Jason Taylor's son.
Yeah.
Mason Taylor, Mason. He's going to be the best. He's going to be the best, The best ever they will be, right?
Oh, no, we lost you. No. I agree, Mikey. I'm right there with you. I think it was a good pick. I think Mason Taylor is a good pick. He'll contribute right away. I think he'll be a good tight end in the league. I mean, look, if you take a tight end that high in the 2nd round, You think you got a real player there, so hopefully that's the case. And there's a great backstory, obviously, with his dad playing for the Jets. And the last time the Jets were good, they had a Taylor on the team. 2010. Jason Taylor was on that AFC Championship team. So many people forgot that. It was so funny. That was a good signing by Rex and Tannenbaum. That worked. Jason Taylor was a nice player on the 2010 Jets. Here's Mason Taylor rooting for the Jets at MetLife in 2010. He was a 5-year-old. And now he's a Jet. Thunderlips with a super chat. He cuts the line. Last chance to get in here. Super chat wise. $10 super chats get you 2 raffle entries. 20 get you 5. 50 get you 10. 100 get you 20. Glenn is focusing more on the back end. He's just going to blitz more than you could block since the D-line's talent is not great. Well, they have very good edge rushers, and they have an all-pro DT. They need to supplement that guy. Maybe they think someone on the team could do it. Maybe they're going to sign someone post-draft now. We'll see. Thunderlip says, can I get half a raffle ticket? Let me think about this.
You get the fuck out.
Never. No, I'm just kidding. We'll get you in the raffle, Thunderlips. I like you. You're a good man. Speaking of good men, good family men, ladies and gentlemen, he's back.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Give me some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Hey, Jake. How are you?
Hey, Charles. How are you?
Good. I really like our draft. Just actually, funny enough, I actually just did a short live stream grading our draft, and it's very
Wait a second.
high grade.
Are you trying to steal my listeners, Charles?
No.
Sounds like you are.
I didn't know you were going on today. No shit.
What do you mean? I go live every day.
I somehow forgot. Anyways,
Lou Gehrig, Cal Ripken, Jake Asman. What do we all have in common?
they play every day.
That's right. And you just figured that out today?
I forgot you go on every day. I just forgot.
Come on. How did your show go?
It was good. Some people liked what I had to say, or at least the ones that attended.
Others didn't?
No, not a lot of people attended. So
how many people attended?
About several.
About several.
About 4 or 5.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, currently watching, Charles, there's 456 people and thousands after the fact. So what do you want these people to know about the Jets draft?
I think it's a very good draft. I think it's one of the better drafts we have in our franchise's history.
Really?
Well, let me rephrase that. I think it's one of the better selections we've made in a long time. I think so far, Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn has earned our respect. Not so much our trust as of yet, but they stuck with their board. They let the board come to them. They didn't try to reach too much, even though I think the weakest pick in the draft was the Arian Smith pick, but I think he could potentially be – he could either be one or two things. Our Devin Smith, who couldn't play for shit, or Robbie Anderson, who was a decent speedster.
Interesting. So you think that they let the board come to them, but then they reached with Arian Smith?
That's what I just said, yes.
You don't think that take contradicts itself?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. Big fella says, Charles finally with a good camera angle.
Thank you, big fella. I appreciate that.
Now, what did you tell your parents about Thursday when they asked about the event? What were some of the highlights that you shared with them?
I showed them the picture that I took with Fireman, and I showed them that I had him sign the Funko Pop that the big fella gave me.
How come we didn't take a picture, Charles? I'm not good enough for you?
I'm sorry, Jake. Maybe next time when we meet up, we'll take a picture, okay?
I hope so.
And you didn't make me wear the underoos.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I couldn't track you down, man. You were tough to get a hold of. I'm going to mail them to you, all right? You'll sign it and send it back.
I'll see what I can do. Anyway, if you were to ask what's my favorite pick in the draft, it's the Armand Membu pick. It potentially solidifies our offensive line. It also solidifies our 2 bookend tackles for the next several years. Hopefully Mambu doesn't turn out to be the offensive line version of Vernon Colston where he couldn't play for shit in the NFL. But I think Mambu, from what I've seen from Mambu, he looks like a very good player to me. Obviously, people say he plays nasty, especially in pass protection. Hasn't allowed too many sacks in his college career. So that's a good thing. Now, hopefully, this offensive line has the potential to be our best, not only since 2010, but since 2015.
I think it should be better than 2015 based on talent.
I do too, but 2015 we had a really good O-line. You know, if they paved the way for Ryan Fitzpatrick to have the career passing numbers that he did, and to pave the way for Chris Ivory to have the career year he did. So you can't take away that. But yeah, that's all I got to say, Jake. Have a good day, buddy.
Thunderlift says, Charles, do you still wipe your rear end standing up while you hover over the bowl?
I do both.
Purple Ball Mike says, Charles, where do you rank Captain Underpants as a superhero?
Oh God, I love this question. I'm not even being sarcastic. He's in my top 100. Where exactly he ranks, I have no idea, but I love him. I was obsessed with him as a kid.
Indy Jet says, Charles, superhero name, Mr. Catfish.
No, Indy Jet's a stupid ass one. Anyways, have a good day, everybody.
What are you up to today, Charles? You gonna watch the Knicks game?
And the Yankees game, hopefully. I just heard
doubleheader.
Devin winning.
Yeah, he's not the closer anymore. Thankfully, they finally did it. Luke Weaver's our closer.
Yeah. So have a good day, everybody.
Peg and Artie
See y'all
say it was
later.
great meeting you.
Oh yes, it was. Peg and Artie are wonderful. They're a wonderful couple. They're wonderful people. Peg is a sweetheart. God bless her. Hope she's doing okay. And yeah, it was wonderful.
Tom Ace wants to know, would you trade up for Captain Underpants?
I'll get back to you on that, Tom Ace. Anyway, I'm going to head out now.
Purple
Peace
Bell
out.
Mike wants to know, loved meeting Charles, highlight of the night.
It was a good for me too, Purple Belt Mike. Thank you. Hopefully we get together next time.
Ryan says, Artie is a good family man.
Yes, he is.
If you were ranking your top family men that you met at the party, who would be in your top three?
Roseanne's father.
Okay.
Artie.
Okay.
And Purple Belt Mike that I've known so. Oh, Bonesy's up there too. Bonesy's a good family man.
We sure?
Yes.
Okay. Ted says, Charles gave me a 1 second hello and then hugged Mimosa.
Oh, shit. Mimosa's a sweetheart. She really is, too.
Would you say she's a lovely lady?
Lovely lady, yes.
Let's see. Pat says, Charles looks like little Joey.
Little Joey from what? The Little Rascals?
No, little Joey from Beast Breaker's attic.
I'm a cute little hamster. I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, it's a guinea
now.
pig.
Oh, guinea pig. I'm sorry.
PBM says, we know why he hugged Mimosa. Big fella says, Charles, I guess I'm not a good family man.
Yes, you're a good family man, big fella. Stop it.
Anthony says, thank you, Charles. It was great meeting you as well.
It's great meeting you too, sir.
Liam says your show should be called Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk with Charles Gorman.
I don't think you would want to see me do Pillow Talk. Anyway.
I tune in. No, it's just you doing your show, but the branding is Pillow Talk.
No, it'll be fine. Anyway, they're going to head out now.
Hey, before
Peace
you
out.
go, Tom Ace wants your all-time lovely lady rankings.
What, from the Osmaniac meetup?
I guess just as maniacs in general, do you have an all-time lovely lady ranking?
I do, but I'll have to get back to you on that. Peace out.
All right, so chat, please remind me next time Charles calls in to ask Charles for his lovely lady rankings. All right, we'll give you some time to put it together. He just left. Charles, what are we doing here? All right. You can't just leave. You can't let down the people. They had more questions for you.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
All right. We're going to need content here to get us till training camp. So we will definitely do a segment on Charles all-time as Maniac lovely lady rankings. That will kill a segment. All right. I'm open for all ideas here. All right. Time to buckle up. Once this week wraps up and we really digest the draft, I'm going to need some suggestions from the peanut gallery. All right. I think Charles is top 100 as Maniac lovely ladies is a good one. So I'm very excited about the potential for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm always excited about the potential whenever this guy calls in. The closer for today's show is the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Jake Asman.
Hello, Lane Train.
So, how did you feel about the Yankees playing today?
Looking outside my apartment right now, it looks like it's sunny and the weather looks decent. So I think they're going to be able to get both games.
Yeah, because, yesterday they were supposed to play, but it started like pouring.
Yeah, that is true.
So, how do you feel about the playoffs? No, I mean about not the playoffs, the draft.
I feel good. I think the Jets picked some players.
I cannot believe the Jets didn't like a Knoble.
Yeah, Knoble, they couldn't get him this year. He kind of fell a lot further than like Shador. He might go back to school.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the picks right now.
Who was your favorite pick?
Number 7, Mumbu.
You a Membu guy?
Yeah, Mason Taylor.
Yeah,
I saw the picture when he was younger, when he was like really small, and his father was there.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about the Giants picks?
I think they had a pretty good draft. They picked a couple of players that I wouldn't have minded if the Jets ended up with.
Why is that? Why didn't the Jets get Dixon Hall? No, I mean Dixon Hall rather.
Dixon Hall? Just like Knoble, we're starting to hear about maybe some character concerns with him. He went undrafted.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of upset though. Like I watched the whole thing.
You were waiting to hear his name get called, right?
Yeah, and I was very upset.
Yeah, me too.
Did Carly watch the draft at home, or was he busy making the cookies?
I haven't spoken to her about what she did yesterday, so I'm not sure. You would know more than me.
And what else? And I like the draft.
That's good.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of upset about the picks, though.
What are you upset about?
The Jets. Well, I mean, the Jets should have went after. Who else they should have gone after? Starts with an S. His name is. I forgot.
It starts with an S, though.
Yeah, but they did not. They fortunately did not pick him up.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens.
Now I'm looking at their list of players they did draft, and to your point, Lane, they didn't draft anyone whose first name starts with an S.
I do like number 162, Francisco. It's hard to pronounce. Francisco Mongo, I think.
Francisco Mongo. Yep, you got it.
Yeah. Sounds like mango for a second. I don't know why.
Very similar spelling.
I like number 138, Moore.
130?
I think he'll do good. Well, yeah.
How do you say his first name?
Malachi.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, and I like 110 over there.
How do you say his name?
From Georgia. Mongo Moore.
All right, so we got Mongo Moore, and then
I like the other one from Georgia. He's a WR.
he is a WR, yes. How do you say his first and last name?
It's hard to pronounce. Let me see. Oh. In Smith.
Our Smith. Yep, nailed it.
Yeah. But I hope he does good though.
What about our
Because he
first
did-
pick? You said his name earlier properly.
Oh
Pick
yeah,
7.
number 7. I
Yeah,
like
what's his
number
name?
73.
How do you say his name?
Oh, that it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, this one is really tough.
Yeah, why is that? They make it like hard.
Well, you're gonna have to blame his parents for that one.
I know how you feel. Yeah, it's so nice out though now.
It is nice out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll have the thing now to see what.
So, is your favorite pick the Jets made Mango Moore?
Yeah, Mango Moore. I think he'll do well. In week 1 of the Jets, I think they play the.
You have the
Who do they
schedule
play?
already?
Well, not yet, but I know it's coming out maybe next month. And same as the Giants schedule.
Yeah, May 14th the schedule comes out.
May 14th will be when they have the schedule coming out for Jets.
Are you gonna come to an
I
Asmaniac meetup for one of the games, Lane?
mean, hopefully, I would have to ask my parents about it, but I don't see why not.
Yeah,
I'll get to meet the Asmaniacs. I'll get
They
to
all
meet.
want to meet you, Lane. So many
Yeah,
people came
I'll
up to me
meet
on Thursday
Charles.
and they're like, "Where's Lane?"
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll meet Charles Gorman's parents and Bobby and Jay Graves.
Oh yeah, she's a lovely lady,
Louise.
right? We love Jay Graves.
She's funny, and Mimosa.
Oh, we
and
love Mimosa.
Carly. And the other one also with the glasses.
Who's the other one?
That was there at the party also that I didn't her
Genergy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's another lovely lady.
Knicks won, I think. Did you watch the game?
Oh, they played today at 1.
I hope they take it all. All
Me
right.
too.
So thank you for taking my call.
Anytime, Lane. Call back whenever, okay?
Okay, bye-bye. The 27 pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader?
The king, the Lane train. Unreal. That's why he's a 1 seed, folks. What a call. We hit on a lot there. Mongo Moore. Mongo Moore. Hey, join my Patreon. Get in on the Discord if you want to find out info about our next Asmaniac meetup. I'll have all that in a few days. If you want to support the show, we could use your support post-draft. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you sign up for the year, you now save 20%. It used to be 15. It's now 20. Your name added to the intro. 20% off all items from the merch store, including the Gorman underwear. So if that doesn't get you to sign up, I mean, come on now, people. Please hit the like button on your way out of here. Shout out to Rich for always telling the people what to do to help make the channel continue to grow. Again, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Nick Faria. You guys are tremendous. I did miss this super chat here from Sean, so I'll hit on it on the way out. Signed Keenan Allen or Cooper at the minimum. They're good locker room presences that can mention our young guys as safety practice. Mentor our young guys. Yes, I've been saying this. I wanted Lockett. He's gone. Cooper and Allen are both out there. You could sign players that don't count for compensatory picks now. Doesn't affect that process. I'd be all over both. All over both of them. So, with that said, I'd say we're done, but we're not done until we read Anthony's super chat. Let's go, Knicks. Amen. Knicks in 5. Let's get it done today in Detroit and close it out Tuesday at the Garden. Again, thank you all for watching. I just want to thank everyone again who came out to the draft party on Thursday. The turnout was incredible. The feedback has been off the charts. The venue was thrilled with the turnout and how everyone was. So very cool. Hopefully we'll do more events potentially with Clinton Hall in the future. So thank you to everyone who was there Thursday. Again, thank you to everyone who watched over 15 hours of our draft megacast this weekend. Unreal to be live for that long and have the audience we had. Just a testament to the Asmaniacs. So you guys are great. Thank you for watching this show. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll be back with our usual 2-a-day, Monday through Friday. So I'm certainly looking forward to talking more about this draft. We'll get into some of the UDFAs as the dust settles there as well. My name is Jake Asman. This has been The Jake Asman Show. I end today's show with a clip that all of you must watch. It's a clip that will inspire you. It's a clip that will get you going. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Jets. Jets, Jets, Jets. And let's go next.
Who was that lovely lady?
That was Carly.
Anyway.
Yep. Charles, I think we talked about you calling in and chewing on the air again. You couldn't wait till after your call to eat, talk to me and then you eat.
Anyway,
this is a great angle for you, Charles. Even better angle. Where are you calling us from?
Burger King in Hope Lawn.
What did you get?
A BK Royal Crispy Sandwich with Swiss cheese on it. No tomato. About to finish up my fries. I'm about to have a slice of birthday cake.
Very nice. Charles, I think you should give all your takes from this angle moving forward.
Get in the hole!